Hey everybody, Matt here. As you can probably tell by the title up here, I'm going to be doing a political video. I haven't done one in quite a while. This summer's been really hectic and I haven't been able to do as many videos, period, much less political videos as I want to. And there's just been so much going on. I got, long story, 3 kids out of school, the house is crazy this time of year, so it's just been really hard for me to get as many videos out as I wanted to, specifically the political ones. So as you can tell up here again, this is going to be about us and our country and whether or not we are a republic or a democracy. The question, I think, is something that a lot of you out there, especially if you're watching my videos, you're probably like-minded or similarly minded people as myself, if that makes sense. So this is probably a subject that's been broached several times in conversation, or you know, whether you've been actively involved in that conversation, or it's been something you've seen on the news, or something you've read in the newspaper or online. This conversation of are we a republic, are we a democracy, has come up a lot in the last year. In fact, I would say more so in the last year than probably in the previous 60 years in this country. And a lot of that has to do with the state of our country and the inherent nature of our government and what it has evolved into here very recently. The question of whether we're a republic or a democracy, I think, is extremely important. And I think it's extremely important to understand that what we are and how we are defined as a nation can define us as individuals, because whether or not we are a republic or a democracy affects us all individually. I think the first question to ask before we make the determination of what we are is what is a republic and what is a democracy. Now, a democracy is on its very surface, it is a government that is run by the people, for the people. Okay, on its very surface, it sounds like a very good thing, and in fact, it is a democracy is better than a lot of other forms of government out there. Okay, it is not the worst form of government in the world. It is not the most perfect either. Okay. But that's it on its very basic level. Okay, a democracy basically caters towards the masses with little to no disregard for minorities and individuals. Okay, it is done so. It is basically mob think. Okay, it is everybody who can rushes to make the decisions, and whoever is in charge. And that's another aspect of democracies and republics. Both usually have some form of representative government. Okay. Now, on a republic, it's a little more well defined. On a democracy, a representative government can be anything, like a king or queen who may be only there in face value. A parliament, you know, things like what they have over in England, to a president or some sort of other leader type. They can be represented by senators, by all forms of different people. Okay, now that form of government is less defined than a republic when it comes to representative government. But essentially, let's get back down to the basics. Don't want to get too far off track. A democracy is basically mob rule. Okay, whoever's at the top basically caters to and listens to whoever is the loudest. Okay, whichever voice screams the loudest, okay, gets what they want. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, that kind of thing. Okay, now that doesn't always mean the mass majority. It means who shows up to be heard as the mass majority. That's who wins in a democracy. And as we all know, in most cases, what ends up happening to a democracy is it falls prey to special interests and to, you know, lobbyists. I mean, that's just history speaking, okay? Because they tend to push and become the loudest voice. And eventually, in a democracy, the government caters to those people. Okay, they encourage the masses. Okay, an excellent example would be unions. In a democracy, unions, especially if you look at Europe, are a big deal. And why? Because they have the loudest voice. Okay, even if all the people that are in that union don't agree with the politics of the union, they go along with it. They just don't say anything. Okay, the union has the power because it has people behind it. It has mass. Okay, now that mass may not always be all moving in the same direction, but it's there, and it's hard to ignore. Okay, so unions control a lot of government politics. Okay, now that's democracy. Republic, on the other hand, specifically caters to the individual. Okay, that's one main point of a republic. The other main point of a republic is a very well-defined representative government, i.e., we have Congress set up, and we have the Senate, we have the three branches of government set up in exactly the way they are. Okay, and everything we are is defined by a constitution, and that's just the way it is. Okay, a republic is a very well-organized form of government. Okay, it basically takes democracy and makes it livable. Okay, makes it something that, if done right, will not crumble and fall into socialism. Okay, that's what a republic does. Okay, but the most important part of that, and probably one point of a republic that I want to make clear, that specifically our republic, that's very important, is that because it caters to a constitution, and that in turn makes it cater to the individual. This is very important because in a democracy, the individual is nothing. Okay, the individual is nothing unless they are part of a larger whole. Okay, there's nothing important about individual rights in a democracy. In a republic, those, especially our republic, those are the ultimate right. Those are the ultimate bar. There is this government thing that is there, and it is there to try and take care of us, but it has to listen to us, to the single individual. It has to cater to us. Okay, and that gives the people the power. Okay, whereas in a democracy, all it takes is a mass group of people, whoever's the loudest, even if they're completely unreasonable, they have the power. Okay, and that's where you see special interests, that's where you see lobbyists, that's where you see unions coming in and being able to take what should rightfully be the individuals, the citizens' rights, and take them for themselves. Okay, those are the key differences. Now, personally, I think no matter which side you're on, right, left, Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, independent, libertarian, it doesn't matter. The form of government that grants the most individual rights should be what everybody wants. Okay, it should be what everybody seeks, what they should all fight for. Okay, because it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, you have rights that are important to you. And living in a country where they value the individual's rights, and that would be a republic, not a democracy, that's going to be more beneficial to you. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if you live in California and you want legalized pot and gay marriage. Okay? A republic is going to give you a better opportunity to have that than a democracy will. Okay? Or whether you live where I live in Texas and you're like me and you want your guns to be yours. You want the right to be able to own and bear arms, and you believe in the Second Amendment, and you believe that is your right, not just for self-defense, but to place yourself there along with everybody else who has guns, to be able to be that force that constantly is there to remind the government that you can't fuck with us. Okay? A republic is better for people like me. Okay? Not a democracy. And it doesn't matter whether you're an independent who is right down the middle and really doesn't care about this side too much, but doesn't care about that side too much. They want this. A republic is better. In all cases, a republic is better than a democracy. And when people start to understand that and start to realize that what we are turning into, what our government is turning us into, is a democracy, is something that is going to cater to special interests, that is going to cater to lobbyists, that is going to cater to unions. They know what they say. They know what they mean. When they say, oh, we're a democracy, we're this, we're that, this is not just a mistake on, a mistake. They're not just making a mistake, okay? They're doing it on purpose. They're trying to mentally prepare the people of this country to accept a democracy. And in a democracy, you, the individual, are not important. You're not important unless you're part of the mass. Unless you're part of, it's the whole go along to get along thing. Unless you're just going to go along with it, then you don't matter and we're going to ignore you. Now, if you want to be somebody, you want to be important, you got to get on the bandwagon with everybody else, okay? And whoever's the loudest voice is the one who's going to be conducting that train, okay? I don't want to go off too far into it, but I mean, this all boils down to one thing, and that is politicians. We as a country have gotten incredibly lazy, I think, when it comes to our politicians, and we a long time ago we stopped electing people to serve as public servants, and we started electing politicians, career politicians, okay? The founding fathers and the people who used to, up until 100 years ago, serve as public servants, whether they were governors or senators or congressmen or presidents, they were real people. Now, were they always good people? No, but they were real people. Okay, they were not politicians born and bred. I mean, look at families like the Kennedys. Okay, these are people that are born and bred politicians. Even the Bushes, born and bred politicians. It's what they do. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. We need to start electing people again, people that realize that they serve us, that they don't serve their own interests, that they don't serve unions, they don't serve lobbyists. They serve us, the people, the individual, the people of this republic. This is not a democracy. And I think when we start doing that, and when we start realizing that we'll be much better off as a country. Everybody. I don't care what political side you lean towards. You'll be better off. Okay? A lot of things in this world, and specifically in this country, have got thrown off track because in the name of democracy. And it's not all it's cracked up to be, and that term gets thrown around entirely too often and way too loosely, and it doesn't mean what people think it does. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Just a little rant. I'm sure most of you don't care. Most of you want to see some gun and knife and gear and survival videos, and that's cool. So, and I'll have plenty of those. But anyway, that's it for my little rant. Just clear things up, man. Just remember, it's almost November. You got to do what you got to do. You need to vote, and we need to vote for those who believe in the republic. Not trying to turn us into a democracy. I don't care which side you're on. A politician is a politician. Most of them are all pieces of shit. Let's start voting for people who respect us as individuals and who respect this country as the republic it is. So that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll have some more videos up for you soon. Thanks.